We come to this place for magic.
No, you know what? This is how I believe, okay? I'm from the old school.
Backwards.
You usually do this from home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did one here with Michael Schur and Rashad Ritchie, and that was like when Michael was running. And then, but other than that, we haven't done it from the studio in like 2-3 years. Yeah. So, and we have a doozy for you guys tonight. I got a bunch of amazing videos, including whether I abandoned a baby seal in need and if I'm a terrible person for doing that. I don't know if you guys can hear Edwin in the background going, yes.
Just for the record, you could be a terrible person without that.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, it's either, it could be because of that, it could be despite that, it could be any of those things. Now, and we're gonna start in a second with James O'Keefe. He has been fired, apparently, from Project Veritas.
Wow, what do you have to do to get fired from Project Veritas?
I'm gonna show you.
Tell the truth?
Well, that's the ironic thing. Yeah. But he did a music video. Oh, you're gonna love that. It's coming up in a little bit, okay? But let's warm up. First of all, of course, brought to you by this, by the way, how cool is this jacket? I don't think this jacket's available at shoptyt.com. But anyway, one day. There's a lot of other cool stuff. I got my 20th anniversary shirt on, but we're already out to 21.
What's it made of?
This jacket?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it like a sweatshirty jacket? Oh no, it's got a little, it's kind of like, it's got that vaguely water repellent.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm not sure that it is, but I use it as such, and it has worked. It is ideal under all weather. It's crazy, but we're not selling it, so sorry. Okay, but anyways, one day, shoptyt.com. You'll find plenty of good merch.
What's it say on that sleeve? Like, is that who makes it? Like, what's on that? The sleeve I can't see. The sleeve facing Edwin.
Oh.
The shoulder.
Oh,
the shoulder
yeah.
No, up here. North Face.
North Face. Yeah. It's North Face.
Jacket.
Yeah. Because we got a North Face TYT backpack too. All these secret things we keep from you. So, but every once in a while, when we go special watch out, here it comes. That's when you go and rush in and panic. And no, Edwin, it is not made from baby seals. But more on that later. First, let's start with a fun soccer chant.
Oh, is this a video?
Yeah, it's gonna be a video. It's gonna be fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
I love that so much, okay, for 3 reasons I bring it up. Well, number one, yeah, I feel a little bit like Millwall when we get attacked from the right, the left, the middle, etc. That chant is in the back of my mind thinking, we're Millwall, we're Super Millwall. And I see like some rando attacking us and I think, we are Millwall from the den. No one likes us, no one likes us. Okay, number 2 is, I got reminded of it, Ben, because the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. And Travis Kelce said, no one believed in us. I'm like, no, come on, Travis, I love you, brother.
I think you were the favorites to start the year. I think everyone believed it.
Okay, some people said the Bills. I get it, right? And some people said this and some people said that. But it's not like you were the Texans.
No, I mean, there are 32 teams in the league, and at worst, you were the 3rd choice for the Super Bowl.
That's right, no one had you under 3.
No one thought that. I mean, it was like Bills or Chiefs in the AFC and then some NFC team. But the Bills and Chiefs would have been, in general, liked above whatever the NFC team was.
Yeah. And so,
that all season.
Yeah.
Like, there was never a moment when people were like, I don't think it's going to be the Chiefs. They don't have it. They're weak.
Yeah, by the way, Travis, it's certainly not true of at least one person in media, because I bet on you guys in the beginning of the season.
Ah, right.
Okay, to win the Super Bowl. So at least we got that. But also because you were just in the UK.
That's right.
Okay, and so
I'm going. I've never been to London, and I went this month. I'm going back next month.
Oh, and
straight.
you've never been to London?
Never been. I've been now. I know a lot.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, was anybody seeing that when you were there?
No, but I can't. We're going to a soccer game next time.
Oh, I got. I don't even. I have no idea where Millwall is.
No, yeah.
Okay.
They're not. There must be like a second. I bet on today to get in the mood. I bet on a non-English Premier League soccer game. I bet on Watford.
Well, obviously.
And North. And I bet on a tie. But freaking North Payne got an own goal with like 10 minutes to play and lost 3-2.
That's such a Ben Mankiewicz bet.
It's great, yeah.
To lose on an own goal from North Moon.
No, North Moon tied it, and it was 2-2, and I'm like, come on, it's 2-2. It was 1-0, 1-1-2. It was great, right?
Yeah.
And an own goal. Yeah.
You never watched Last Kingdom on Netflix, did you?
No.
Okay, so that's when the Vikings attack what is now the UK, and the UK is not united. England is not yet united. The Saxons fight amongst each other, and they fight against the Danes, etc. And to your point about
North.
yeah, but it is.
Yeah, right,
they have all these ancient ways of saying things that are already sounding right? Yeah. And so there's Northumbria, where the main character is from, but he's more specifically from Bember.
Oh, Bember.
Bember. And every time they say Bember, I go, that's so cool. That's so cool. And everyone's named Ethelfled or Ethelwyn or Ethelwethel. Okay, and it's a fun show. It's a fun show. Anyways, we are Millwall. I'm coming for you, Millwall. I don't know where you are, but I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna go to a soccer game, and you better chant that. Okay?
So you saw that was all coming from that section that was filled, because the rest of the stadium was basically empty.
Yeah, because no one likes them.
That's right. That's right. Only those diehards, right?
Okay, and did you see today? Yeah, I'm sure you didn't. Alex Jones took an old Young Turks clip of me debating Sam Harris, and said,
"That's the one you edited to misinterpret what Sam Harris said."
Okay, that was the charge by Dave Rubin on a 3-hour, clearly unedited debate, which never happens.
Right, but you must have aired some clips on the show. It's weird that you would take a 3-hour interview and then air pieces of it on the show that weren't 3 hours. Like, no one does that.
Yeah, you should have shown it in the entire 3-hour context.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thanks.
But anyway, the hilarious part of that now is that Alex Jones didn't use it to criticize us. At one point, Sam Harris was doing one of his legendary thought experiments. And he said, look, in a philosophy seminar, they might debate whether you eat babies.
I'm sure you understand what the word legendary means, but I'm going.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah. So anyways, and so he talked about whether we should eat babies.
Sam did.
Sam did. And in that case, he said, and like if you took it out of context, people would think it was crazy to have that conversation. So Alex Jones just took it out of context.
Oh, he did the very thing.
He did. And it was in the sentence. And he took out the part where he says, awesome. If you take it out of context, right? And he just had him going, maybe we should eat babies. This is what the liberals want. No, actually he was the conservative, I was the liberal. Yeah. And then Sam in that same clip is like, oh, and then of course the Glenn Greenwalds of the world would attack me. And now Glenn Greenwald's a conservative who agrees with Alex Jones. Okay, man, this world is nuts. And I give you that as background so James O'Keefe is the guy, I don't know if he created Project Veritas, but he's mainly known, he's the face of Project Veritas for a lot of people. Project Veritas is like a dirtbag conservative group.
I thought he created it, but
yeah, probably, but I don't have it in front of me. Yeah. We're gonna do the official story and all news and give you all the details that are correct tomorrow on the Young Turks, okay? And apparently they had a falling out because he was abusive to the staff. No one could have seen that coming.
No.
And apparently misused funds, they said. Okay, again, no one could have seen that coming. They seem like such fine chaps over at Project Veritas, filled with decency and principles.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know there is no good guy in the story of James O'Keefe and the people who hire and employ James O'Keefe. So,
there are no good guys. I'll tell you how much what their budget was every year later for depression reasons, so we can get nice and depressed ourselves. But before we do that, I'm going to show you the video, and at some point you're going to want to go to a split screen Asher of me and Ben watching it. But they said part of the money that Amis used was for a music video, and I thought, yes, please show me that music video. Please tell me you have it. And we has it. Let's jump in it.
I just can't believe that my face is on TV. Oligarchy, am I left or right? M-O-G-O-P. Oligarchy, do I have faith in truth? Does truth have faith in me?
James O'Keefe is suing Twitter for defamation.
Project taken down because they confronted a Facebook executive.
Take a video like that down, it would be due to doxing concern.
I can show you a video of CNN doing the exact same thing.
Twitter made factual statements about our client that are false.
Oligarchy, Twitter, CNN, Zuckerberg, with your seed. Oligarchy, give it, make believe. Was that what you wanted them to see? Do you put lies to debug?
James O'Keefe.
Is that Tim Pool guy?
Yeah, Tim Pool makes a cameo there in one of the screens. But you're never going to guess what's happening today, what's going to happen in that screen. You'll never guess.
I don't know, I guess he's gonna change the channel. Maybe his remote won't work. He's gonna hit him with that hammer.
Sledgehammer. Yeah, that foreshadowing was a bit of both a literal and symbolic sledgehammer.
Oh, he's gonna hit that one too?
Oh, one left over from 1994. One of those old
they were gonna bust up a bunch of nice TVs.
Yeah, all those TVs had width. There's not a single flat screen on there. I don't know how they had so many TVs from the 1990s in the Project Veritas studio.
Was that James O'Keefe?
Yeah.
It's probably not the question he wants people to ask. So I want to know what the casting call was. Because they just got some girls to come dance who were, professional dancers, and they want to work, and they seem pretty good. And like, what do I have? I mean, I doubt very seriously that they're super into Project Veritas.
No, I agree with you. I'm sure they're normal dancers. I'm sure they're terrific. It's just, but it needed some choreography. I mean, it had to be choreographed a little bit better than that. I mean, they're like.
But they don't have a choreographer.
Of course they know they're Project Veritas.
What was that song called?
Number one, I don't know. Number two, I don't care. But I'm pretty sure it has something to do with oligarchy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the name.
Actually, guys, that's a song. Musically, they ripped it off of Prince. Prince did a song called Controversy, and they basically just did a parody of that song.
Oh, so the song is called Controversy?
Controversy by Prince, and they just ripped it off.
It sounded like Prince.
Yeah.
That's right. No, but I mean the beat, I like that sound. That could be a Prince song. I could buy that, right, all right.
So Prince is rolling in his grave right now.
Yeah.
And I love how they're pretending to be against oligarchy. That is hilarious. Like, yeah, she's got nothing to do with Project Veritas. She's just an actress, right? And these are some sophisticated dance moves.
Right, but you gotta know how to jump up in the air, spin around.
They twirled. No, there's nothing wrong with the dancers.
Yeah.
I'm not taking it out on the dancers.
Who's that Jack Dorsey? Jack Dorsey had that ZZ Top beard.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I don't know if he still does. Yeah. See this one. This is my favorite move right there. Allah.
Also, I love it how they make it seem like CNN is obsessed with Project Veritas. And I mean, they've run like maybe 3 stories on them in 25 years.
Yeah. Of course. But everybody's very important. Yeah. All right, I love that clip. They said that he wasted the money on that video, but really, was it really wasted? I mean, that was some serious work right there.
That's the first video, Project Veritas video, that seemed honest. I mean, it was a music video. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he did smash the TVs.
As far as we know.
Yeah, that seemed real. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we found one. We found one that was okay.
Do you have
ready?
to do this every time you say oligarchy? Oligarchy.
Wish I had my glasses. You're right. You got to do it.
Oligarchy.
These guys, they say, okay, now comes the irony. They're very much against oligarchy. They get funded to the tune of $20 million a year. And it doesn't come from the grassroots, okay? It comes from the oligarchy. Okay.
Now, so because you got, that's an interesting number, because that's the number that the Turks got in the whatever 10 years ago. How long?
No, that was 6 years ago. Now.
6 years. God, it seems longer. And that money was investment by people who wanted to make money.
Yes.
I sort of sense, I don't know, maybe that is the case with Project Veritas, but I sense
no
it's
chance.
I sense it's just to get the left, right?
Yeah, I mean, look,
to
I don't
make
know
these
their
sort of
structure, to be fair to them, okay? But they don't have any outward appearances of making profit, right? Or revenue of any sort. So I don't think it's a business. I think it's a nonprofit. If I understand it right, again, we'll get the details for you guys tomorrow.
Could be wrong. I don't care.
But no, like I would be shocked if anyone was expecting their money back.
You got that one time, and then when, because digital media is so hard, when that did not turn into a windfall for those investors, they tried to take power from you. They hated you, basically, right? I mean,
well,
you guys went to business war. You battled, and then. But these guys, and then their claim though is somehow that you, and from the left too, is that somehow you're in the pocket of these people. And these guys are getting $20 million. So, but that said, I now want to ask you about the Soros money. Where is it? What have you done with it?
What have I done with it?
Yeah.
Ben, look, I don't want to tip my hand right now, but we might be working on a music video.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to say, where'd that Soros money go? It looks to me like you're wearing it.
Oh yeah, this one. That's why it's not available to you guys.
That's right. Took that George Soros money. I got myself a North Face jacket.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. Yeah, but look at this. Yeah. It's all gone now.
$69.
Yeah, no, but to Ben's main point, guys, we got it as an investment once. This complicated story about what Ben was referring to about how that concluded, but those guys. And whether it's them or other right-wing groups, get that kind of money, like Prager, this was in the New York Times, got $23 million a year for free. It's not an investment, you don't have to give it back, you don't have to pay interest on it, you don't have to do any of that business stuff. They just give it to you so you say right-wing stuff.
Right, so you whip up outrage.
Yeah, outrage and they would say, fighting against woke culture, which means fighting against diversity, et cetera, et cetera. So
why do we trust any right wingers with money? They're totally reckless.
No, but that's the thing though. That's why whenever I see, whether it's billionaires most of the time, or rarely, like Trump gets real money from grassroots, right? So one, he's super famous. Two, he's the Messiah. So people actually, in Republican circles, it's really rare to get an organization that's funded even partially by grassroots. Almost all billionaire money, corporate money, et cetera, right? But Trump, to be fair to him, because we're the fairest show in America, fairest network in America, does get grassroots money. And those guys I actually feel a little bit bad for. That one I'm mixed on, but I'm like, guys, we told you he's a con man, and you keep sending money to a con man and then getting surprised that the con man's putting it in his pocket instead of doing something for you. But if you don't want to believe us, all right, what am I gonna do? Go ahead, keep sending him money.
They don't even get surprised because either they don't believe it or they ignore it.
Yeah, and it's okay, you wanna do that. A bunch of people send in money to Steve Bannon to build another fake wall. Gets indicted, and then gets pardoned because he was gonna get convicted. And by Trump before he leaves office, people still send him money.
Yeah,
but look, the right wing. I mean, we've been over it too many times, but Alex Jones sells brain pills, penis pills. And they're all selling preparedness stuff. Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon, every commercial break. The Last of Us is a documentary, it's real. The zombies are liberals, they're coming for you, and they're the Chinese and they're the aliens. And they're the other kind of aliens, and they're every kind of aliens, and they're all gonna come. But buy our preparedness kit for only $2,569, and you'll have canned tuna for the rest of your life that you'll never use. So they built up. So, but those guys are for profit. You see the difference? Alex Jones is for profit. He does, to my knowledge, does not get any big money from billionaires, etc. Doesn't make him a good guy. Trump is not a good guy, right? But that's why they, like Alex Jones sells that preparedness and the gold. He used to sell gold a lot, the brain pills, etc., because he's trying to make a buck off the audience. Whereas the Project Veritas and the Dennis Pragers are just propaganda outlets. So they get money for free just because it's not for free. They're buying a product. The product is propaganda. Right. And at the end of that rabbit hole, if you go all the way down, is tax cuts for the rich. That's the only thing that anybody wants. Everything else is a smokescreen at the end of the day. And then some people want religion. Like
some people want some of the religious things. Right?
Yeah, some of the religious things.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't want gay people to get married.
No, heaven forbid.
Yeah.
Because to be fair to them, it happened once, only once to me. A gay couple got married in Missouri, and I was like, maybe guys.
Maybe
guys.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that happens to people.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
That's how it works, yeah.
I wonder if that happens to them, and that's why they think it. Anyways, okay, we have one. So now we move to the SEALs. Okay, you ready? Now you would think like SEALs, SEAL Team 6. No, I found SEAL Team 1 this morning. Okay, it appeared to be a lone baby seal on the beach.
What were you doing? You went on the beach this morning?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what I was doing there, and I'm going to tell you what I did, and then you're going to tell me what I should have done. Okay.
Great. All
right, but first we're gonna see this video that I took of the baby seal that is so adorbs that you're gonna hate me more for what I have done. Let's watch.
Where is that?
Yeah, okay, so that's at Dockweiler.
I was gonna say, that's gonna be at Dockweiler State Park.
Yeah. So, as you know, and I think the audience knows. Oh, by the way, can I get the iPad, Edwin, so that I can get people's comments? I'm now a camping aficionado. So, but it's because of my wife. As with most Chinese immigrants, she's decided to embrace the camping lifestyle.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I'm kidding about that, obviously. If you don't know Chinese immigrants or any immigrants, I remember my dad. So I was in Boy Scouts, except I never made it to Boy Scouts. You remember this? I was Cub Scouts, and then I plateaued at Weeblo.
Sure. Okay.
At the Weeblo level. Okay. And right now, some conservative guy out there is going, maybe guys. Okay. Anyway, so, but that is a real level. Although I said it the other day to a dad who had a couple of Cub Scouts around him. I'm like, oh, Cub Scouts. I was in Boy Scouts. I was a Weeblo. And he was like,
do they not? They probably.
I don't know if they use it anymore. Please, can we look at it? They say still use it.
They still do.
Oh, okay, good, good. So I didn't seem like a weirdo. Okay.
It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if they redirected that in a different direction.
Yeah.
Toughen.
Yeah, there's better ways.
Yeah.
There's, I mean, shoot, go.
Hardy Boy.
A Hardy Boy?
No,
I think we might be knocking on the same door, but just in a different direction.
I don't think so, but all right, yeah.
Okay, maybe what's the guy who the feller who doesn't care? These days I'm always forgetting. You know, he doesn't care. Not Hedgehog.
Sonic?
No.
He doesn't care.
You know what I'm talking about. All of them. Come on, Asher, jump in. You got. I can't curse.
Honey Badger.
Honey Badger. Thank you. God, that took forever. Jesus, we're all in bad shape here. Anyway, you know the famous Honey Badger video? No. You don't know it?
No, it sounds.
Oh, you know what? We're playing it in the second. If you can bring it in for the second episode where we can curse, okay? So anyway, maybe honey badger, but no, so anyway, my dad, everybody bails out, all the parents bail out. And most of them are immigrant parents, no, except Dope and JT's parents, but they couldn't do it. And so now my dad has become the de facto troop leader for like a minute. And the next thing is to go in the woods and do a bunch of things like tie knots and start a fire, whatever. My dad's like, we're not going in the woods. There's nothing good in the woods.
No, there's nothing good in the woods. Yeah. Certainly not at night.
See, like if you're an American, you grew up comfortable, generally speaking, okay? And so you're used to going camping in the woods. You're used to go
I think it's fair to say that if you grew up in America and you're in the Scouts, you're likely to be somewhat comfortable. Doesn't mean you're rich.
Yeah, you're comfortable enough that you're not freaked out by the woods.
Yeah.
But you don't know the rest of the world, right? Like my dad was a very literal olive farmer, right, in southeastern Turkey, right where the earthquake recently happened. And so if someone had said to him when he was a kid, hey Dogan, you want to go in the woods? No.
Yeah.
No, you do not want to go in the woods. Okay. Nothing good comes out of the woods.
Real quick, when I was in the Poconos this summer, as I go for part of the summer, there are woods, and I like being in the woods, but they're little woods, and no matter where you are in the woods, you can kind of see your way out. Like you see where there are not woods, and I think it's critical when you're in the woods that you be able to see not woods. And
not woods.
Yeah,
critical to see not woods.
Yeah, like you look and you're like, I can see where there are no more trees. I just have to go there. It might be a mile away, but I can get there.
What Ben's saying is, look, I can go in the woods as long as it's only about 100 feet. Okay, and then I'm out. I can't go past that. In Jersey, we used to call that a backyard.
Yeah, sure. Okay, right. It's a little more in the backyard, but I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
I like being places with a lot of trees. I don't really want to go in the woods though. Like I can be around a lot of trees. It's nice. Trees are great.
Trees. I love trees. I know now I love the woods and I'm good. But I'm not. I have no idea why I brought up Boy Scouts, which I'll probably remember later. It's 50-50 really, if we're being honest about it. We couldn't even remember honey badger. Anyways, this baby seal was at Dockweiler's. Now, because I'm in the camping life now. And so immigrants don't do the camping thing, generally speaking. They don't go in the woods, etc. But my wife is a different bird, okay? And so we've got a camper van and we're ready to travel. We've gone Montana, Utah, Death Valley, Valley of Despair, Valley of Fire. These are all literal, by the way. I'm not making them up.
And you go there and you stay overnight.
We'll stay. The Montana Canada trip was a week, 10 days. My wife did like about a month with the kids and me combined. Like she was with the kids herself for a while, me with a while. Anyway, but here in LA, there's this place called Dockweiler's. It's actually right between like Santa Monica and Manhattan Beach, two lovely places, right? There's Venice, there's a couple things, but etc. But Dockweiler's not so lovely. Now there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, it's right underneath their airport. And so
it's in like El Segundo.
It's in El Segundo, and so it's not developed at all.
Spanish for the Segundo. Just in case you didn't know.
And Chevron knew that.
Yeah.
And that's what they named the city. Actually, that's true.
Is that right? They named the city?
But back then they were known as Chevron. Okay. Almost had a liquor named Chevron. Okay, but they went with the Segundo, and. So it was their second refinery in the country.
Oh, really?
That's why the name of the town is El Segundo.
Really?
Is that interesting?
That is interesting.
But El Segundo is dominated by the airport. So if
it's lovely, by the way, El Segundo, the town.
I love El Segundo, but the beach, the planes are going nonstop. So not a lot of people go to that beach, but there's an RV camp where we go, right? And it's kind of lovely. You're right on the beach, etc. But you got the noise, and then there's a sewer plant nearby. And if the wind blows the wrong way, look.
Yeah, there's a big. Is it a sewer plant that's there, like a water treatment plant?
Yeah,
that's what. Yeah. So in addition to it being by the airport, there's also a giant water treatment.
Your senses are abused from time to time.
Yeah.
Okay, but hey, we're campers. Okay, and that's we're part of nature. Okay, and sewer plants are part of nature. You just go in the woods. Hey, there's a sewer plant. Okay, anyways, but this morning I gotta, because we had President's Day weekend, so the kids have off today. So we stayed there Saturday and Sunday, and now it's Monday morning. We gotta leave by noon or whatever. But I got the show, so I got to book back home. Okay, so I'm walking from the camper van to my car. They park in different places, and the walk is by the water. And I see something I've never seen before in LA, a seal. Have you ever seen a seal in LA?
No, of course not.
Yeah, neither had I, right?
San Francisco, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's San Francisco, sure, of
They're
course. Yeah. What's that town?
I think 2 seals are on the board of supervisors in San Francisco.
What's that town? Down in by La Jolla. La Jolla, there's the seals that hang out
by
there.
San Diego, yeah.
By San Diego, right? But never in LA. And I saw him, and he looked like he was alone. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. And I took a picture to show the kids. Didn't. Will probably later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the video, and then I got to go because I have literally 5 meetings today, and then I got to prepare for the show. Okay. And then as I walked away, I was like, wait, was I supposed to do something? Like, it looks like it's lost. It looks like it's a baby, but what do I know if it's lost? You know, I don't know.
It's not lost. I mean, it's got to get to the sea. Is the sea over that wall or something? But there's a way around it.
The sea is by next to the wall, right?
Right.
So no, he
So
can
she's
easily
gotta-
walk back into the sea, right?
That's fine.
So, but I feel like a lot of libs would say, no, you should now interrupt your day and do nothing but chase down whether this seal is okay or not.
I mean, if you had things to do, I would have stayed because it interested me, you know.
I stayed for the 17 seconds it took to shoot this video.
Yeah, he seems fine.
He seems fine.
Are innocent.
Well, that's true. Okay.
What was that?
Animals are innocent. Do you remember that, Brad?
Animals are innocent.
No.
Do we have that in the system? The old video from the 21st anniversary?
Animals
We
are
might.
innocent.
Because Ben will enjoy that video.
I mean, I missed the 21st anniversary thing.
You did, you
I
did.
was out of town.
Yeah, you were watching a game at Millwall.
I was watching a game. Oh, was that just recently? It was last week or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Europe for the 21st anniversary, working.
Yeah.
It's fun to be working in Europe. It's fun.
Uh-huh.
You feel important every day.
Yeah,
I
kind
got
of, right?
In Europe, I got meetings. I got stuff to do. You know.
Oh, I've got a meeting in Dublin, please.
That's why I can't. I'd like to. I can't talk. I got to go. I got a meeting.
If there's no one that has a meeting in Dublin that doesn't live in Dublin that isn't having an important meeting in Dublin.
I have many things. So I think I absolve you of you had to go. He's fine. I thought he was in distress. He's not in distress. He's climbing on a rock. He's looking around. His mom probably got clubbed, you know, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, well, that's not as reassuring. That fact pattern.
My father, who was big liberal, and but always thought, I don't care about Spotted Owl if there's 8 good jobs there, right? He would always want jobs, and he would always, and I know that I'm sure he's wrong, so please don't write in. I don't, but he always thought there's like maybe 3 baby seals got clubbed, and now everybody thinks there's just everybody going around clubbing baby seals, and he never believed it happened. He also thought there was only one kind of gas under that, like you'd pay.
Yeah.
And it was 87, 89, 91, 93. Be like, it's just one big tub of gas, and there's just some suckers paying extra for the 93. Yeah.
I think that you and I get along so well, partly because I'm weirdly like your dad in some ways, not the great parts, but like number one, I'm positive that there's no difference between 87, 91, and 93. And I'm positive that everyone who thinks that there's a difference is making it up. Okay, they're like, oh no, I got the 87 once and my car had the knocks. I don't think any cars actually ever had the knocks. I think it's in their minds, like you went over a bump.
Knocks and pings, they used to say on the ad.
Oh yeah.
Knocking.
And then they're like, oh, you go over like one of those bumps, like, yeah, that's one of the knocks. The old lady got this 87. She can't, no, you got to get the 91.
Right? But partly I know the answer because I'm good at math, and so because my dad taught me also like how. So I always I figure out the mileage every time based on you know, how many gallons it takes to fill up, and I always start the miles over when I fill it up. It's just fun. I like knowing whether I got 16.8 miles to the gallon. I have an SUV, so it's lousy. We also have an electric car, so we're 1 and 1. And the problem is the SUV is paid for. What do you want me to do? I can't. It's paid for. End of story. I'm keeping it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So so when you put in that car and in many other cars, when you put the 91 or 93 in, your mileage is better. That's all it is.
Oh, that's
it's better. So you pay more, but you get better mileage. It's probably the same in the end. But you don't have to go to the gas station as much, so it's probably worth it.
Officially not buying it.
Yeah,
it's all the same. You go underneath there. So my wife now also does the cello. So she's in a very narrow slice of people who are both in the CC and the CVC.
The camping community and the cello and violin community?
Oh, that is such a good guess, but no. The camper van community and the cello community.
And the cello community, all right. Yeah.
And every time I say, she's like, there is no CVC. You made it up. You made it up. There's no such thing as a CVC. I'm like, there kind of is now. Okay, and I got news for you. You're in it.
Okay. My wife and I, when we went to the Telluride Film Festival one year, we went early and we stayed in Dolores, Colorado, in the mountains, and by I think Dolores River, some river, whatever the river's named there, and not the Colorado, but a tributary to the Colorado. And we stayed at a mobile home park, trailer, like people would drive their mobile homes up and stay there. And we didn't have one, but you could also rent a few cabins that were just mixed in. And that's definitely a community. There's no question, it's a community. All those people know each other, they hang out, they talk about, you know where you should go. And then those people are like, great, we don't have anything to do, we're in this community. We don't have jobs anymore.
No,
right? We'll just drive there and we'll stay there for 9 days or 19 days. It doesn't matter, right?
No, to your point, so first Wendy comes to me she's like, look, I found this bunch of people that play cello on Facebook. And you're never gonna believe it. They're like in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. I'm like, most believable thing I've ever heard. Okay, like, what did you like?
And they're in their 20s and 30s? That would surprise me.
That would I'd be like, I'd be shocked by that, right? Anyway, so that's the CC though. Back to the CVC, and so yeah, they have. Wendy says like, oh, they're all meeting in like, and so like when you go to the desert and in LA, it's like you're surrounded by desert, so 90% of the camping options are in the desert, and all the valleys and all the areas have like these really like moribund names, like I said, Valley of Despair, Valley of, you're never gonna win a bet again.
Sure, I've been there. Yeah, I'm there right now. Yeah. I've been living there for years.
There's one just called Millwall. It says, no one likes you,
I hate those
no
guys.
one likes you.
That's a terrible community, nobody likes them.
Anyway, so they're going to one of these desert places or valleys or despair, whatever they are, right? And I'm like, babes, that's what a community does. They just randomly go and meet up. And
talk.
And so then we run into like thousands of campers now, and so like I'll joke around and I'll be like, oh, so you guys are part of the CVC, and then like CVC camper van community, they're like, oh, of course we are.
Yeah, right.
Right, and Wendy's like, So she does cello now as a hobby, and she plays all the time. And she did a recital the other day, so it's official and stuff. And my son also plays the cello in junior high school, middle school, and so now they're the two cellos. See, that was a cello joke intended only for the CC.
That's right.
And they got it.
Right, the CVC won't get it. No, I got it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, you got it. You know what the two cellos are?
Well, it's the two tenors, right? I mean, that's the same. You're playing off that. Yeah.
No, there's the two. But yes, good idea.
But it was like the 3 tenors.
Yeah,
maybe it was the 8 tenors. I don't know.
But there are two. Now I got it. There's 2 guys who did cello, and they did concerts, and they were cool. They were new, and they were like really good-looking guys, and they played like crazy. And then they started playing AC/DC on cello and stuff. So they were
the 2 cellos. Right?
Yeah. So
the 3 tenor. It was the 3 tenors.
I think it was the 3 tenors.
Pavarotti and a couple other guys.
And Honey Badger.
Right. Sure. And Travis Kelce.
And Enrique Iglesias. I'm sure of it.
That's it.
I'm sure
That's what it was. Yeah.
Placido Domingo. Look at this. But that's, to be fair, I live in a CC household. So she, by the way, brings a cello to the camping in a rare intersection of the CVC-CC, which is of course known as the CCCC. Okay, I'm just amusing myself now. Anyways, so she says, okay, there's cellos that go for like 3,000, 8,000.
Yeah, Pavarotti, Domingo, and the other one, by the way, is clearly to everyone the hardest one of the three tenors, Jose Carreras.
Jose Carreras, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
yes. I would not have remembered that in a million years. But now that you say it, I go, oh yeah, I think I've heard of that.
It says in the Wikipedia the termed as a supergroup.
Really? Jose Carreras also played shortstop for the Reds for a while.
It does sound like a guy who would play shortstop for the Reds. Yeah.
Anyways, so she says there's $3,000 cello, $8,000 cello for. I'm thinking none of the above. I hope is in the selections. I'm hoping for D. None of the above. And she's like, but there's like $1 million cellos, and they all sound different. And I thought to myself, no, they don't. Get it? Okay, if you look underneath,
right,
it's all the same thing. Okay. There's no delineation. And I realized though one day, oh, maybe there is a difference in sound. I just can't hear it.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Right. And to give you a sense of how bad I am with music, I don't really know any of the terms. I don't know the difference between a beat, a tune, a rhythm. Like none of those words mean anything to me. Like I assume they're distinct words that have meanings, right? Like, but like, can you keep the beat? Yeah, okay, I get that, right?
That's like the drum.
Boom, 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 right?
That's right, yeah.
Is everything in tune or only string instruments in tune? Right, I don't know. What is a tune? I don't even know what a tune is.
I think you have to. You certainly tune a guitar. I imagine you have to tune your horn. I mean, a saxophone probably has to be tuned, and yeah.
I feel like I've gotten my horn tuned every once in a while.
Sure, okay.
Okay, but anyway, but I don't know I don't know any of that stuff. So then I realized, oh, I just might not be able to hear it, right?
Yeah, you're not. No one should pay attention to what you have to say about music. It's not what you're not going to say anything interesting, and if you do say, what you do say is probably wrong. And I even mean even if it's a subjective opinion.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to get into an argument with you about like Bob Dylan or something. I don't care what you have to say.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you did, I would tell you he's got a terrible voice.
Yeah, well, he does have a terrible voice, but he's done something incredibly interesting with it. It's not like an accident that all these people who are good singers like it. But yeah, he doesn't sound like the others.
Yeah, no, I'll give him that. He definitely does not sound like the others. And you're generally right. Fun guessing game, real quick. I don't know if you'll be able to. Like my favorite group growing up, and I don't mean like eventually it became Run DMC. By the end of high school, it was Run DMC. But pre-Run DMC, my favorite group, it's nearly impossible to guess.
Supertramp?
No, that would be a big step up.
Okay, all right.
It was the Pointer Sisters.
Oh, well, nothing wrong with the Pointer Sisters.
Oh, okay. And that became retroactively cool. Oh my God. I went full circle.
Pointer Sisters were always cool.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Yes. People used to make fun. I mean, I would jump.
They did a very good version of Bruce Springsteen's.
They did.
Fire. Thank you.
Fire.
Yeah. And a song called Slow Hand.
Yeah, I mean, no, but there's not. I mean, Pointer Sisters are important soul group of the 1970s. They matter.
Oh my God, I got retroactively
Ruth,
cool.
Anita,
That's so
and
cool.
June.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
And actually, every once in a while they switch out the fourth sister, Jose Carreras.
So I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And I was gonna say groundhog, and I'm like, God damn it, it's not groundhog. What the hell was that thing? Honey badger.
Honey badger.
But when I was growing up, and I said Pointer Sisters, everybody would make fun of me.
Oh yeah, sure. That makes sense. That would happen. But but now the Pointer Sisters, I don't know. They could be. If you told me the Pointer Sisters are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'd believe it.
I think they should be.
Yeah.
All right. So, God, I felt randomly good about that. But still, there's no difference between any of those cellos, and the gas is all the same. Do you lease or buy?
My cello?
No. I didn't know you were in the CC.
I have a lease with an option to buy the cello.
Yeah. Oh,
like
I
my
see.
rubber gloves. Fletch reference. Thank you.
So that one got past the goalie too. So
do you own rubber gloves? I lease them. I have an option to buy.
But as it turns out, that's what we do with our cars, and we did buy one of them. But normally we lease.
We have leased, but leasing became less attractive, and for a lot of cars lately, it used to be you could get a pretty low payment, but
yeah.
I mean,
Leasing, I think, was a minor miracle. Like
for a while, yeah. But it does. You are sending the money away. So, but that's okay if you just decide, hey man, I'm going to pay $349 a month for the rest of time for a car. It's fine.
But you're sending the money away on a depreciating asset.
That's right. Yeah, totally.
So
that's right. But then now, and we've hit this weird time when cars are very valuable. Used cars are very valuable now. So I have now thrice, thank you, sold, had a car at the end of the lease, bought it at the price, the pre-approved, whatever they call that price, and then sold it for more money.
Wow, look at you, you're a business man.
One time I sold it for the exact same price because it was a friend. So I'm like, oh, well, I'll buy it for you for $16,500 and then you can just give it to me and then I'll give you the
And
money.
a humanitarian at that. You sound like the kind of guy who'd stop for a baby seal.
I might stop for a baby seal. No, I made like 4,000 on one and like 2,800 on the other, but I don't do any work for it. I mean, I just knew, you read enough stories, you know that's happening, but I called for the last one, we bought a car in Pennsylvania for my wife's mom. And then the lease was up, she can't drive anymore, so it was come back. And so I called the guy, I go, well, he's like, well, so you turn the car in. They clearly badly wanted me to turn this car in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe I'm thinking of buying it and then selling it. He's like, well, you're not allowed to do that. You can only sell it back to us. So we might be able to pay a little more for it, but you can only sell it back to us. And I was like, I'm pretty sure if I buy it, I can do whatever I want. He's like, no, it's in the lease, you can sell it. I go, so you're telling me if I buy this car from you and then drive it, I don't know, 40 miles away and sell it to somebody else, you're gonna know about this?
It's such an obvious lie.
Right? It's just like,
I was gonna say the same exact thing. I was gonna say I drive to the state next door.
Yeah, and I said,
and you're gonna find the record.
You're gonna pursue me into Ohio, right? As I try and sell this car. He's like, well, yeah, no, you can't do it. I go, let me talk to somebody else, just like that, right? And then I talk to the other guy, and he's like, no, obviously, if you buy the car, it's your car.
Yeah,
and you can sell it. You drive it off a cliff.
That's kind of how buying works.
I said to him at the one point, I was a little baffled at first before I got angry. I was like, this is America. Can I sell it to anybody I want? Like I was like, I got all like, it's America.
Yeah,
that's
what you got right wing on them.
$12,800. I can sell it for $14,200.
I'll do a lease caravan right now.
Yeah,
from Canada.
So we baked some deal where I get it was going to be like 3,000 more. And it was clear we could have gotten more somewhere else. I'm like, I feel like we should get more. And he's like, yeah, you could, but then you got to take the car and you got to sell it to somebody else, or I'll just give you the $3,000 right away. I was like, you make a compelling case, sir.
Yeah,
that's right.
You should have told him.
Yeah.
You got a deal, except you can't sell it ever.
You can't ever sell it. You buy it here, you got to just keep it on the lot.
Okay, and by the way, I'm watching.
Totally. Okay. I got people.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna run out of time. You guys sent in a bunch of good comments, so I'm gonna read them. And then if you have comments on what if I should have done something else with the seals, let us know. We'll do it in the next segment. We got a whole nother episode, by the way, for members where we will curse significantly. Dana Manning wrote in, wow, the Mankin studio. Hey, where was Ben for the TYT's 21st anniversary? We answered it already. We were reading your mind and pre-answering. Boomer Dragon Cat wrote it, in studio old school, I'm here for it. Jank, I can tell you that in person old school is 10 times better than Zoom shows. The whole energy is different. Riffing off each other, it's fantastic. I totally agree.
Yeah,
that's why I love doing it in the studio.
Right. Yep, no question.
See, if we were on Zoom, we would have just talked over each other and you wouldn't have heard either one of us.
Yeah, and my signal would have gone out.
Yeah, well, that's also true. Dirge says, if I wake up with the oligarchy song in my head, I'm going to be super pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, hit him, Ben.
Oligarchy.
Just be anti-racist. I'm so excited to read Jank's book. Oh, that's awesome. Just pre-order from shoptyt.com. That's what we got at shoptyt.com. Justice is coming, okay?
When is justice coming?
September. Okay, it's a little delayed. Justice
this year?
Delayed is of this year, yes.
Can I read the thing?
Oh, yeah.
How progressives are going to take over the country and America is going to love it.
Yeah, isn't that such a title I would come up with?
Yeah, of course. Justice is coming. I imagine that. I didn't have to ask. Like, oh, whose idea was this?
Shy Coltrane 42 says it's nice to see Ben on TYT and TCM. Agreed. Lynn says I just hopped in and I have no idea what I'm looking at. Hey Lynn, not going to explain it. Twitch says has Becca 1359 saying cool. It would be for Cenk to read me out for supporting. I will blush, and that will be almost like meeting him. Becca, you have now met me over the internets. Okay,
I literally couldn't understand one part.
Doesn't matter, Becca, you're awesome.
Yeah.
Darth Hollister, hell yeah.
Hollister writes in and says, "We come for the with the food. He wants to meet us, and it feels good."
Hollister, no, that's the different guy. Darth Hollister wrote in, hell yeah, old school is going. Old school is sleeveless. Mo Dragon says, I'm not sure I've seen an old school in studio. Yes, Hunger Games 1999 says, what did Cenk do to get Ben in studio?
I got you.
Jersey Mike subs. That's what I did. What?
But I think I got you here.
Oh, that's true. That's right. Ben got us here.
I got to go in between shows for like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'll be back.
Last couples here. Irie Man 42. Millwall is in Bermondsey, southeast London, England.
No, so I could go to a Millwall game. I would go to a Millwall game.
Yeah, and Bermondsey sounds like the exact kind of that we were talking about. Late Bloomer 66, there's nothing better than Ben and Cenk in studio with Edwin laughing and Bart making the music happen. Best TYT old school in a while. The OG Mountain Dragon says Brent makes awesome music videos, definitely possible. Also 20 minutes in and no disagreement between Cenk and Ben. Is this a record? Well, we did disagree a little while ago, but we did go about 40 minutes. So
what did we disagree about?
I don't know, but it was fun.
It wasn't a real disagreement.
No, but are they really?
Yeah, very few.
Yeah. Tahira Kathleen says, I love when Cenk and Mank are on, the original Turks. And last one's Amber Mans. These are all new members, all American heroes. Amber Manzer, Carol Fowler, Thurchus, Thefan, HO710, Ganja Cat 420, actually been a member for a year, and Pitchfork Dragon gifted 5 times Young Turks memberships, and in fact, then got thanked for it by new member Emil Sinclair. And history speaks with a donation.
Emil Sinclair sounds made up.
It sounds like a character out of a novel.
It does, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
But all of you, including Emil, if you're a member, you are not made up, and neither is the second episode, where wild and crazy things happen. I'm gonna show the animals are innocent video. We're gonna show videos with cursing. We're gonna have nothing but fun. So tyt.com/join, or if you're on YouTube, hit that beautiful join button below the video, and we'll see you there in a minute.
We come to this place for magic.
All right, back on old school Jank and Ben with you guys. I thought you were going to do the oligarchy.
My daughter's here.
So don't mind that while we curse a lot.
She's my daughter. She's heard it.
She's heard it. That's fair. Yeah.
She's watched me watch sports.
Yes. So my kids and Joy is amused by it every time. And isn't it amazing that we're so similar? And your daughter's name is Josie, and my daughter's name is Joy.
Yep.
And they both start with J-O.
And they were born within, I don't know, 8 or 9 months of each other.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's a bit amazing.
And she knows, like she's, we curse, and her mom curses too, and I mean, she just knows, like you can't.
Every time I curse in the house, I hear from some corner of the house Joy going, "I heard you, Baba."
Yeah.
Okay.
Josie doesn't even register. She doesn't even like. Yeah, I mean, I'll be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, she's doing it right now.
And
doesn't care.
And she doesn't care. She doesn't curse herself. And in fact, she won't do it. We can't get her to. She doesn't curse. But she also knows that if she does, she can only do it at home or at your house.
Yes, except as it turns out, my wife hates it, and so she doesn't even want me cursing in foreign languages.
I mean, but there's no point in it. It's over. Like the kids are what? They're 11 and 9 now.
So they know what married them means.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I say Wasikta sometimes.
Yeah, well, Wasikta is common parlance for people in the TYT world, but now forbidden at my house. Okay, anyways, so Ben has never seen these two amazing videos. Let's start with Animals Are Innocent.
Don't use chicken as an insult. Animals are innocent. Don't be speciesist. Never use the name of an animal as an insult for a human. Animals are innocent.
If you're disloyal and we have a spat, I will never call you a rat. I respect you and rats.
Don't use rat as an insult.
If you check out women while out for a jog, I will never call you a dog. I respect you and dogs.
Don't use dog as an insult.
If you complain that we're not rich, I will never call you a bitch.
Well, you cut it off. I mean, literally, it's just getting good.
Animals are innocent.
Animals are innocent. Animals are innocent. So who the hell are those people?
I don't know, randos. But
there's a family, I imagine. Is that their kid in the back, or is?
Well, Pro was kidding around about that the other day, so my wife didn't get it.
I made up a whole story for them. I didn't even realize I was making it up. But I mean, they're married. They've been married a long time, and that's definitely their son.
That's a great mystery.
They have another son on Wall Street who they're super disappointed in, but when he buys them a house, they'll be grateful.
It's a great story and has an 83% chance of being true.
Yeah.
But I never once considered that was their son.
No.
So Wendy had this idea. It's like, hey, why don't you do a show where you guys like do explainer videos, but you explain it, Pro, you explain things to your dad. And I'm like, oh, that's actually is a pretty good idea for a show, right? But we don't want Pro out there because it's a crazy world,
that's
right?
Yeah.
So we won't say that he's your son, and he'll wear a mask. and Pro was like, Mom, there'll be memes all over the internet saying like, help this child.
Yeah, help this poor child. That's right. Yeah.
And they'll all be like, no, he's blinking, help, underneath the mask. He's like, and then I started cracking up, partly because I was high too. And I couldn't stop laughing, right? Because it was really funny. And when he's like, what's so funny? And I'm like, the missing child is kind of funny. I'm like, babes, you can't do a show with a random child. You can do it with your own child.
Yeah, that's right.
But you can't be like, oh, here's a 12-year-old boy who walked in and he's in a mask.
Isn't it
and
terrible?
now I'm going to do a show with him.
Isn't it terrible that you can't, and I'm not even quite sure exactly why, but I sense it and I don't disagree with it. But it's terrible that you can't do a show with your kid.
Mm-hmm. It is terrible. Yeah. It's a terrible indictment of our society.
That's right, yeah.
And it's totally true.
Yeah.
Right? Because, especially me, because I am Millwall, super Millwall, Millwall from the den.
That's right. Nobody likes you.
Yeah, and so there would be nonstop attacks, nonstop this, nonstop that. It's a pretty shitty world out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to go on social media at some point anyway, soon. He probably already is, and then it's already going to be bad.
He's not yet, and I don't know when they're going to go on, and I'm really afraid of it, and or worried about it. And one time we did this sketch with me and Wendy, and we had a couple of plants, and Pro jumped out from the bank and started singing, but we couldn't use it. We couldn't use it, He was.
No, you could. I've had Josie on stuff, but it's different. I'm not, my association with here is limited, and I'm at work. The place I work is generally loved by all.
Yeah, you are the TCM is the anti-Millwall.
That's right, anti-Millwall.
Everyone likes us. Everyone likes us.
Yeah, and we care.
We care. Yeah, we do cruises for them. We do all these wonderful things for them. We care. Okay, now we're gonna go to Honey Badger because this is unbelievable that Ben has not seen this video.
I might have seen it.
Okay, and so by the way, we try to track down the stars of these old videos. I know we tried once with the Animals Are Innocent folks. They might have even written in, but somehow we never got them on. You remember Phil Davison?
The guy for
I am from the village of Minerva.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. We tried to get him. We tried to get Randy Gonzalez. And we couldn't.
Who was
get
Randy Gonzalez?
He said, "Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell Randy Gonzalez, I'm coming."
Right, but he sounds
just like Justice.
He sounds exactly like Phil Davison.
Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell Randy Gonzalez, I'm coming.
But wait, so that's Phil Davison.
That's Phil Davison.
Right. Who's Randy? Oh,
Randy Gonzalez is the guy.
We haven't heard from Randy Gonzalez.
No one's ever seen Randy Gonzalez. Yeah. We tried to make Randy Gonzalez famous. He wouldn't do it.
Who won that race?
Randy Gonzalez. We on the anniversary.
So Phil Davison wasn't coming.
No, it turns out he wasn't
coming.
We all told Randy Gonzalez for no reason at all. No, seriously, I forget. This might have been like the French and Indian War. It's a trick question. It was neither Randy Gonzalez nor Phil Davison who won, but I forget.
The French Indian War, where neither the French.
Yeah, because that was. I remember our history teacher did that in 5th grade to us. Who won before he taught it? Who won the French and Indian War? And
it's a trick question.
Yeah, and I'm like, Dick, I know it's a trick question, but you haven't taught it yet. So what do you want me to just guess Norway? What do you want me to do?
Right? So I don't want to make fun of this guy because he was really brilliant, but I went to Normandy, right, to the beaches of Normandy, and there's part of you because it's become such a tourist destination and there's signs everywhere that you want to be cynical a little, right? You can't be. It's overwhelming, right? And but we had this guide. And he was so knowledgeable, and he had a pattern. He had a presentation, and he'd fall in and out of his presentation throughout the day. We spent 6, 7, 8 hours with him. I think 8 hours.
Jeez, that's a long presentation.
But I mean, he drove us around, and then he'd start in, and he couldn't help it. He'd just start into his pattern, and he doesn't like you to interrupt him, right? And so, but he'd quiz you, and he'd be like, "But you can't move the gun this way. Why not?" I'm like, "Because there's something." No, why? I'm like, I don't know, because you don't want to shoot that way. No, try again. I'm like, tell me.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was going to be a quiz. I'm not really. Why is that house not destroyed? Obviously, Germans can't. You wouldn't be able to get the machine gun through. What happened to that house? I'm like, officers live there. No, try again. I'm like, they did shoot it up, but it's been repaired. No, try again.
Okay, no.
I don't know. They had it on the 2nd floor. It wasn't there. They're like, nope. That's how you know it's new construction. Okay, all right.
So I had a science teacher in 7th grade or 8th grade, and Mr. Z, and he would always answer your question with a question.
Yeah.
And it was actually the only way that anybody could get me to shut up in class. And so I want to congratulate him. So I'd raise my hand because I actually cared. I was not Millwall from.
Hang on, I should write this down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I would say, "Oh, Mr. Z, I was curious, why does the chemical react that way?" And he would always say, "Why do you think the chemical reacts that way?" And I would always think in my head, "Dick, why do you think I asked you? Do I look like the kind of guy who would be shy about stating the answer if I had it?" Okay? I believe the way this goes is I ask, you teach. Okay? Not I ask, you ask back and make me look like a dick. And for not knowing, then after like 3 or 4 times, I was like, oh, this guy's never gonna answer a question.
Right.
So that was the only the class I never raised my hand. Okay, there's a 25% chance he thought mission accomplished.
No, totally, yeah.
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 And by the way, if you're a teacher or in any kind of context like that and you don't know the answers, that's a perfect device.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, everybody will hate you, right? But you won't have to answer anything and people will stop asking.
You probably don't care.
Yeah.
Right, you probably don't care what the students think of you.
Yeah, I get probably. As always, I have totally forgotten why we're talking about teachers. So let's show
videos, people contacting other videos, and it led to.
Oh yeah. And there was a trick question. Oh, the Phil Davidson was a trick question. There was more teachers that made me angry. We'll save it. Let's look at. I was going to say Groundhog Day again. Honey badger.
Honey badger.
This is a honey badger running around looking for a snack. Honey badger don't care. Honey badger will do anything at all costs just to feed itself and survive in the wild. As you know, or you may not know, the honey badgers live throughout Africa and Southwest Asia. And they are, look how badass. Just digging away, trying to get to that snack. That mid-afternoon lunch. But it's gonna have to keep digging. You see, this honey badger knows that there's a snake, there's a caw down in there, or some other burrowing animal. Look, these baboons are fascinated. Oh, jealous? Look at that, they're not even baboons. What are those, macaw? Oh, I forget what kind of monkey. There we go, see? Now, the honey badgers are presently least concern because they are flourishing once again. Look at this snake. You'll never catch me, says this caw, slithering up the tree. Oh yeah, says this honey badger. You think I care? I'm gonna climb right up this tree and eat your ass. Give me that snaky ass. Look, there goes honey badger right up in a tree. You think anything's gonna stop a honey badger when it's hungry? Nothing. This tree means absolutely nothing. Honey badgers learn to climb trees for snacks, as I've told you before. There we go. And with nowhere else to go, it drops to its fate to become a mid-afternoon lunch for this honey badger. There we go. There we go. Honey badger just, oh gosh, takes what it wants and it starts smothering caw. Oh, good grief. That's just gross. Ew. Oh my gosh. Oh, you really had, oh gosh. Oh, he's so gross. Oh, talk about getting scraps. Look, here comes the cheetah.
He's gonna start.
Cheetah's like, is there a honey badger around here? I smell honey badger stink. Me too. And look, here comes a pack of wild pups. See, everyone knows if there's a honey badger around, even lionesses know, then there's also some tasty treats and snacks and scraps. Hey, what'd y'all find? Look, it's a meeting of the predators. Oh my gosh, the lionesses don't even know what to make of these honey badgers. They're just like, whatever. You think we care? We don't.
Might have been a follow-up video because in the original video that got famous like 15 years ago, that guy keeps cursing and he is like, honey badger don't care. He doesn't fucking care. He's like, oh, you're a snake? I don't fucking care.
My favorite part by far is, and Asia.
There's so many people who went
parts of Africa and Asia.
There were so many people who went viral back in the day when life was so innocent, right? Like that guy went viral. You remember the Leave Britney Alone guy?
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
Why did the lions eat the honey badger?
Oh, nothing can eat the honey badger. That's why the honey badger don't care.
But why?
Because it has, they think it can be eaten. Technically, it can be eaten. But
I think it was a time for Ben. Why don't you think the lions ate the honey badger?
Oh, no, God damn it, I missed my golden opportunity. Okay, no, but really it has incredibly thick skin. So when like the snake bites it, the poison doesn't get all the way through.
So even if that snake were poisonous.
Yeah, so in the original video.
That snake seemed to know it ends poorly for me.
Oh yeah, like you with the honey badger comes for you.
So maybe that snake wasn't even poisonous. You know,
it doesn't matter because the honey badger don't care.
Right.
So in the other video, the poisonous snake does bite him, and he falls asleep for a little while, but the poison doesn't get all the way through because the skin membrane is so thick. And so then he wakes up and he's like, okay, now I eat you.
The snake was hanging out in the area?
I know, that's the weird thing. I've always remembered thinking like, did the snake wait? And maybe it was a different snake, maybe, or the snake was trying to eat it, or he woke up in 5 seconds, 2 seconds, right? But it made it seem like he went to sleep for a while and then got up and he was like, no, I'm still gonna eat you. So it turns out, don't mess with a honey badger.
And who's that animal behind the lions? Like an antelope or something that seemed like the lions, like that animal was also not concerned with the
No, but that's what I've always been amazed by in these nature videos, right? Like the gazelles will often be next to the lions and won't freak out, right? There'll be different creatures that lions hunt, and they won't be right next to them, right? But they'll be like over there on the other side of the room, and they'll be like, hey guys, hey guys. And the lions don't always attack right away too. They're always like, should we or shouldn't we? And half the time they're like, fuck it, let's just take a nap. Okay, and maybe that's why the gazelles aren't like super jittery, but turns out they probably should be.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I just figured that was an animal they don't eat, and I guess they obviously don't. They seemed afraid of the honey badger. Like they were like, I don't want any part of you. I mean, there's like a bunch of lions there. However thick that skin is, they put their minds to it. They can get through it.
Yeah, for sure.
But maybe it's not satisfying enough. It's like.
But that's the amazing thing about the honey badger.
We're gonna tear our teeth out and get cut and everything, and it's like eating a Slim Jim. Like it's not really worth it.
It's not worth it. It's just like a Slim Jim. It's the Slim Jim of the animal kingdom.
The Slim Jim.
Everybody knows that. Even Mr. Z told me that. And so, but to be fair to the honey badger, it really has earned its keep. I mean, it's earned its reputation. Because look at him walking around the lines like.
Yeah, don't care, and not even with a bunch of other honey badgers. He's just
there was a couple. No, there was a couple there I saw in the video, but I mean, what is it, a pack of honey badgers going to take down a lion?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe they will.
Or wild dogs. Like,
yeah, they're
wild dogs. They're vicious. They're wild.
Yeah, and the honey badger's like indifferent.
Yeah. Well,
okay, good for them.
Idea. I didn't even know honey badger was a real thing.
Yeah, turns out it is. So I'm going to read a couple more, and then I'm going to go to random topics, which you'll also enjoyed. Urlino says the background laughter is the best part of old school. God bless Edwin, and then the others when they're here. Yes. Tahira Kathleen says this episode's in the top 10. Thank you. Bart, I think they meant this as a compliment. You take it any way you like. But Lynn wrote in, Bart's like the Cliff Clavin of Cheers.
Well, you know, I kind of like that compliment there, Lynn. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, Bart is amazing. He has the appropriate sound clips in every instance, including when you do the most random compliment I've ever heard. And he's like, oh, I don't even have that on tape. You know what? I'll just do Cliff Clavin.
Yeah, he did a nice Cliff Clavin.
Yeah, he does. But you can't say that he's the Cliff Clavin of Cheers, because Cliff Clavin is the Cliff Clavin of Cheers.
I just did an interview with a piece coming up. Was that you? Did you knock something over? It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Remove her from the premises. No, I'm kidding.
I just did an interview with Woody Harrelson.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a bizarre development, he's lovely.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by that.
No, neither am I. He's just like you think he is. Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. You started with Woody, and I thought you were going to say Woody Allen, and I was going to be like, oh, controversy.
No, that would be
controversy. But Woody Harrelson, yeah. So he's pro pot.
Oh yeah, no, he owns a weed shop in Los Angeles called The Woods.
I think he's one of the most progressive actors, isn't he?
He's he's a little bit of a mixed bag. I mean, he starts talking about like how much they tax the pot shop, and he sounds like Greg Abbott. Well, you know, but
the minute you're in a sentence with pot shop,
yeah, right.
I'm good.
No, he's basically he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
All right, good, wonderful to hear. I love his work. Opinionated wrote in, this is the perfect old school. The only thing that could have made it more old schoolier is that now an old school word? Could be. That's another thing that drives my wife crazy. When I say could be, she's like, it's not could be, it is. And then I go, could be.
Yeah.
And can you blame her?
Yeah, whenever we have these conversations, I just feel like there's some possibility that she hates you. All the things you
could be.
Could be.
What do you think I feel? Just kidding around, guys. The only way that it could have been more old schoolier is if would have had Michael Schur or Mark Thompson also in studio. Fair, very fair. And that's all the comments I have for you guys. Okay, so there's a doorman at this very nice restaurant that we've now gone to a couple of times because we've decided that's the TYT thing to do.
Doorman.
Yeah, because it's at a hotel, and so doorman's at the hotel and the restaurant's at the top, okay, of the hotel. So, and I told a story on Old School. I don't know if you were on it, where he was like super friendly, but like in a kind of a knowing way, like, and he was like he kind of pointed at me and was like,
right.
And so, and he did that several times, coming in, coming out, and I eventually went up to him and I'm like, oh, so you watch Young Turks? And he's like, excuse me?
Yeah, that's great. It's always great when that happens.
And I was like, oh, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've met before, right? And I'd be like, do you watch old movies? No.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
And so this time it was me, Anna, and John, okay, for this. Did I tell this story already? I forget if I told the story. Anyway, let's tell it again. Because Aspiration had done this giveaway, and this wonderful lady won it from Tennessee. She came in with a friend, and
you all went to dinner.
And we all went to dinner. That was part of the prizes she won. Thank you, Aspiration. And so the doorman sees me and is super friendly, and then does this. Like there's
like a fist.
Like a fist bump, like yeah. Right? And I tell Anna, I'm like, oh, I did this thing last time, and then he didn't know the Young Turks, but this time he gave me a fist bump. She's like, oh no, he knows the Young Turks. He was super friendly to me, same thing, knowing look. She's like, I can't ever tell if somebody watches Young Turks, but it was clearly a knowing look.
Maybe he just loves Aspiration Bank.
It could be. Yeah. Like he shows the white card, the Aspiration card, like yes, okay. And so
he's seen Contact 12 times. Figured it out. Yeah.
But remember, he seems to know Anna too. Okay.
Right.
So then we're taking a long time to get our car from the valet, and we keep having this conversation after the dinner, me, Anna, and John, right? And Anna's like, I'm just gonna ask him. I'm like, don't do it, it's a trap. I know this guy, okay? I'm Admiral Akbar right now. I'm telling you, it's a trap. And she's like, there's no way. There's no guy who fist pumps you without knowing you.
Yeah,
right?
just that's just what he does.
Yeah. So she goes up and she goes, so do you watch the Young Turks? He's like, what is that?
So what was his deal?
We don't know.
Oh, you didn't find out?
No. And then
So you didn't follow that up with, why are you fist bumping us?
No. It's too awkward.
That's just what he does.
Apparently that's his thing. Because then we sat back and watched for a little while, and he didn't fist pump anyone else, but to everybody, he was like, hey.
Yeah.
It's like a character out of a Larry David episode. Okay. I'm going to tell Larry David about it one day.
Oh, so by the way, the Larry David Woody Harrelson episodes, which we did not discuss.
Oh yeah.
It's, I believe it's the funniest half hour of television ever created.
Wow, that's strong words. I have trouble remembering everything, as you can tell from today's
episode. It's the one where Larry decides that he's obligated to launder the Ku Klux Klan members.
Oh yes. Yeah.
But at the beginning, Woody's there, and they agree that because Larry offers him cream from the store, and Woody's a vegan, so you can't do that. So he's like, no, I have my own cow, which connects those two stories.
Yeah.
But Larry's like, because then Woody says, do you like, why I like Woody? Because he'll make fun of himself. He goes, do you cream shame? Larry's like, of course I cream shame. I love to cream shame.
So, okay, a super random topic. I think I'm going to introduce this as a possibility to you. I'm curious what you think. I believe that there is no bigger disparity between the same name in different languages than Matthew and Mateo. I know you have a friend who's named Matthew and he's kind of cool, but I grew up with a bunch of Matthews who were nerds, okay?
Well, I think this Matthew, who's my friend, is a bit of a dork.
Yeah. And Mateo sounds badass.
No, Mateos are cool and sexy.
Yes, they are.
Women are into Mateos.
Yes.
Matthew, they might be into, but there's nothing about Matthew which would, I mean, nobody's like, ooh, what's your name, Matthew? They're not like, oh, my.
Yeah, no.
But you say Mateo, they're gonna give you're gonna get a couple more seconds.
You know what, now that I've thought it through, I actually think that I kind of blew it. I feel bad for Pro. I should have named him Mateo. I think it gives you a 12% higher chance of hooking up on name alone.
You're just gonna people are gonna pay attention to you. You're gonna get a longer rope to screw things up.
Yeah, you can screw it up, for sure.
I don't just mean in that, in all things. Like anybody is gonna be like, oh, this is Mateo. What's he got to say? Right?
Everybody wants to know what Mateo has to say.
What do you, funny story. Oh, quiet, Mateo's got a story.
Yes, Mateo. Everybody's listening to Mateo's story.
Yeah, if he screws it up, if he can't tell a story, then you may not get a second chance. But you're gonna get a lot of rope with that first story.
It's possible that I have never met a non-attractive Mateo.
No, there's no Mateo who doesn't take care of himself.
And they take care of themselves.
They take care of themselves.
But how do we know this? But it's true. How do we know this?
Here's what you say to Mateo. Hey, where'd you get that T-shirt? I like that T-shirt. Looks great.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna put the T-shirt on and you're gonna be like, what did I think was so great about this T-shirt?
It doesn't look that good.
It doesn't look that good because Mateo knows how to wear the T-shirt.
He does. Also,
you know who I met? You know who I met? David Duchovny. And every single thing he had on, I wanted instantly. It wouldn't look that way on me. It looks that way on David Duchovny.
Well, you know me. I mean, there's no chance it looks like that way on me.
No, of course not.
Okay.
No, but David Duchovny is better looking in person, and he's pretty good looking on TV. But you're like, oh man, that's perfect. That's it. That's all you can hope to be at his age. Is that?
Do you remember when I almost killed Tia Leone?
No. Was it on purpose?
No. It was going to be an unwitting homicide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
more manslaughter.
Yeah. To be fair to me, manslaughter. Well, Yuri Lino wrote in, Storytime with Cenk is the best, Cenk. So I'll give you a story. So if you haven't heard this one, buckle up, but I'll do the short version. Because Ben mentioned Contact. I was in the background in Contact, and that's...
I got the name of the movie right. Is that right?
Contact is right. And I was also in Deep Impact. Anything where we are getting impacted or meeting anything from space.
Act, movies that end in act.
Yes, okay, that also.
Are there any other words that end in act? Impact, contact? Huh?
Sister Act, that was a Sister Act.
Cenk was also in Sister Act.
That's right, but not in Sister Act 2 because it doesn't end in act.
That's right.
Okay, so Sister Act was definitely the funniest part of this entire show. Okay. Anyways, although my third movie was Deep State, and I'm still getting royalties for Money Monster.
Money Monster. Yeah, that's right. You were in that. That movie fell short.
Yeah, well, I think it ended with a bang.
They ran a clip, right?
Yeah, I was like almost the last words in the movie.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. That's Jodie Foster directed that?
Yeah.
So you and Jodie have collaborated often.
Oh, right. Yes, that's right. In fact, if I said to her, she came here to shoot the scene for the last shot of Money Monster.
She's been here twice then.
Yeah, that's right. And so I told her the story about Contact and how I was in the background and it's a big long story, and I didn't tell her the whole story, but and then I said, look.
There's a shortened version of that story because that's the one we should probably tell going forward.
Yeah, it was a very long story. And I told her, look, I won't act in a non-Jodie Foster movie.
Yeah, right. That's
okay.
Good. Yeah.
So, because those are the only two that you could actually see me.
Right.
Money Monster and Contact. The other two you can't see.
She didn't direct Contact though, did she?
No. So In Deep Impact, they go and they wanted cars. So they tell, you can't get this job if you don't have a car, bring your car in, etc. I bring the car in. They say, okay, we're gonna go drive across the Key Bridge, which you know between.
Oh, that's Deep Impact?
Yeah.
I thought that was Contact. I got the stories confused.
Yeah, no. And then you go and you drive across the bridge and I said, well, how do you get back to, and then we're gonna do like 10, 20, 25 takes, whatever. I said, well, okay, yes, but where do we turn around? They're like, you don't turn around, you just drive backwards.
Mm-hmm. Drive backwards, yeah.
And I'm like, across the entire Key Bridge, it's a long bridge.
You're not good at that.
No, exactly, and I warned them.
It's a weakness.
Yeah, I said, look, guys, I'm very honest about my strengths and weaknesses, okay? Not good at reversing.
Right, you're like, I'm not great at driving forward.
Period.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But driving backward is a particular liability.
And I remember that producer looked at me funny the whole day, rightfully so. But I remember when I told him, I'm particularly strong at reversing. He was like, oh boy. He was like, okay. So
why couldn't you turn around and just drive back over? They've got the thing locked off, right?
Yeah. No, because there's so many cars.
Oh, I see.
So we'd all have to turn around, right?
Yeah.
So instead we had to, but reversing that entire bridge like 10,
With other
12
cars
times
also
without-
driving
yeah.
backwards? I mean, there's no way it's not gonna be an accident.
Yeah, and so we do it 3-4 times, and I feel like I got the hang of it. I was super nervous in the beginning, but I'm like, okay. So I start going a little faster. Then I realize, oh, I can't. If I go too fast, I'm going to run into the car behind me because we're all reversing at the same time. So then I panicked a little bit and hit the brakes, but then the car behind me, in front of me, behind me, right, is about to hit me, and then so I speed up, and all the next thing, okay, right. And Tia Leone was on the other side of the road because she's the main star in the car, and they're gonna put her back where her car was, and they're gonna shoot the scene. So she's hanging out there, and I swerve and almost hit her.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't recall that
Okay.
at all, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I got this, right? Oh, seat right.
Did she have to move? Did she move like in a?
I don't remember.
Yeah. It's a better story if she like.
I know.
But you might as well tell it that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I throw in that extra detail. Makes it sound believable, even though it's bullshit.
Right.
Ironic.
She might have moved.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
No, then the producer comes, knocks on my window. What are you doing?
that person. What are you doing?
I'm like, I was reversing, got a little dicey there. Like, yeah, we noticed. You almost killed the star. Like, you almost killed her. And I'm like, I know. But I did warn you. I did warn you earlier. Not good at reversing. Yeah. And then the rest of the story, there's tons of drama, etc. But it ends with I'm getting back late again for the third time. And my car's stuck in the middle, and they're all shooting. There's helicopters, everything. There's a giant production, but my car's not moving.
Why?
Because I'm not in it.
Oh, because you went to get a
Because I'm
sandwich.
late.
Yeah.
Because I went to the bathroom. The producer sees me, and he's behind like this bunker, so you can't see him, right? And he sees me, and I'm running across the bridge. I'm like, no, right? And he's like, get down, get down. And I like dive in between cars while thinking, my car's not moving. None of this matters.
Right.
We're gonna have to retake this scene.
Right.
But I did dive down because he told me to dive down. But I remember mid-dive thinking, this is irrelevant.
But they couldn't really fire you because you can't get your car out.
My car's in there.
Right.
And so in order for consistency, it has to stay in there.
And they couldn't, firing you would mean you have to get your car out in the middle. It was just.
No, it's a nightmare. So unsurprisingly, after that.
Yeah, what's up? Is there something else? Yeah.
He's like, are you shitting me?
Yeah, because you know who doesn't mess around? The first ADs.
Yes,
Like those guys, you know what those guys are doing? Working, getting it done.
Yeah. And having to deal with dicks like me.
That's right.
Forget the almost killing Tia Leone. I ruined single-handedly 2 takes.
That's right.
With the helicopters, probably really expensive,
Yeah,
right?
probably.
Yeah.
The good news is that movie cost a so much money that whatever that day didn't matter.
Right, but he said to me, if you get out of that car, I'm gonna make sure that put you on a list to never be hired as an extra or anything else in any movie that ever comes to Washington, D.C. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. This is like the "you'll never work in this town again" speech, except it's the wrong town.
Right, and like, you're like, there's no list.
Yeah,
There's no extras list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And although I always worry in situations like that, there is.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm like, there is no list. Well, what if there is?
Right.
Like, what if it turns out the 87 really does give you knocks and pings?
It is the most irrelevant blacklist ever.
Well, certainly in my career. I mean, that would have been, was that the last movie? No, I did Enemy of the State after that. So
but I mean,
it would have
you're
cost
talking
me
about
a meeting Gene Hackman.
It would have, but that's like $100. Gene Hackman, by the way, for Turner Classic Movies and for CBS Sunday Morning is like kind of like the holy grail. Everybody wants Gene Hackman. I should have just called you.
Oh yeah, I'm good friends.
Call your friend Gene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is my interaction with Gene on Deep State. So we're sitting around in this fancy bar in some hotel for the movie. That's the scene is in the hotel, and he's gonna chase Will Smith or something. And Will Smith wasn't in the scene, but he came by and slapped me really hard across the face.
Sure. That one I don't think people would object to.
Yeah, they might be like, they're like,
well, that guy,
in the background, Mr. Z and the AD from the Contact are like,
it's okay.
yeah.
He's asking for it.
Yeah, Deep Impact, but the guy from Contact also had an issue with me. Anyways, and so we're in a break, and Gene Hackman's right there, and I'm sitting in a seat next to the nuts, okay, and he sits in the seat right next to me, okay, and he starts talking to me.
Oh, nice.
Man, I have a knack for that, where people come and talk to me.
Sure, and did you have a nice conversation?
Yeah, I mean, it lasted at least 30 seconds.
Okay.
So, old friends, in case you need them.
Okay, good.
But you know me, of course, that was like the highlight of the.
So let me tell a Gene Hackman story. You'll like this story.
Yeah.
So Gene Hackman is hired.
Well, you weren't impressed by my Gene Hackman story where we had ate nuts together for 30 seconds?
Mine won't be as good.
Okay.
So Gene Hackman is hired to play Lex Luthor in Superman.
I'm familiar with that role.
And Gene Hackman at this point, in whatever the first Superman movie was, I think 78. Gene Hackman's, he's a big star at this point.
Oh yeah.
Right? And so Lex Luthor is bald, right? That's sort of in the comic books and this thing. So Richard Donner, very funny guy, died during the pandemic, not of the pandemic.
Wasn't he the fugitive?
That's Richard Kimball.
Oh, close.
Yeah. Richard Donner directed The Omen and the Superman movies.
Oh, Omen, the first movie I ever saw.
Yeah. Well, Richard really good director and a very funny, interesting, smart as hell guy.
Gave me nightmares.
So he's hired to he's doing Superman, and they hire Hackman, and he meets with him. They're going to shoot in London, and they meet in London, and Hackman. It's 1977 probably at this point. The movie comes out in '78, and Hackman, he's been enjoying the '70s, and he's got a Fu Manchu mustache and basically an afro, right? And Donner says, all right, well, great. We're so happy to have gotten you. It's because Christopher Reeves playing Superman, unknown, right? Hackman is the named star in this, right? It's going to get people to come to the movie, yeah. And so he's like, well, it's great. I mean, sorry that you're going to have to, shave your head and take off the mustache. And Hackman's like, no, I'm not going to. And Donner's like, well, he's bald. And so the mustache has kind of got to go. And we can give you a bald cap, but you're not like a day player. We're here for a couple of years. You're in the most of the movie, and so it's very hot and uncomfortable, as you know, to wear a bald cap for that long, especially when you have a lot of hair. So I would shave it and grow your hair back, but it's up to you, right? He's like, I'm not wearing the bald cap either. He's like, I imagine this character. It's 1977. This is a different time, man. And Donner's like, well, we're not shooting for months. He's like, so doesn't matter. I'm just so great to meet you, and I'm so glad you're here, and this is going to be great. Because Donner's smart. He's like, you don't worry about things you don't have to worry about yet.
Yeah,
right?
totally. Yeah, put it off to later for sure.
So there may have been a fitting then in LA for a bald cap, and it gets back to Donner that Hackman has agreed to shave his head, right? But he's not going to shave the mustache, and he thinks that Lex Luthor with a mustache and this new updated Superman, well, that's going to be interesting, right? So it gets to the point where it's the first day on set for Hackman. They haven't seen each other since then, and so Donner goes to makeup that morning and has them put a big bushy mustache on him, right? A fake mustache on him, and he comes down to see Hackman, gets into makeup, he's got the big mustache, he has shaved his head, and he's like, "Hey man, it's great to see you." And he's like, "Listen, one more shot at the mustache," and Hackman's like, "No, I think it stays. It's going to be good. It's going to be cool. It's going to be an updated version of Superman." And Donner's like, they really want you to shave it. I mean, I hear you. What if we both shave our mustaches?
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah. And Hackman's like, "You'll shave yours?" He goes, "I'll shave mine. I'll shave mine if you shave yours. Then we can, we'll grow them back together after the production. We'll be in it together, me and you, bud." Right?
That is genius.
Right. And so Hackman agrees. He shaves the mustache off. Donner can't quite resist it, so he's like, "Yeah, right," or whatever you have to do. And Hackman is enraged.
Yeah,
right?
he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
That was not the way to go.
Yeah, but it's so genius, and so how you handle a moody actor who doesn't want to shave his Fu Manchu mustache.
There you go. Yeah. Now you know.
But it makes you instantly love Richard Donner.
Oh, for sure. I love that.
Because he also thought, what am I going to do? Never tell him? Can't. I gotta tell him. It's too good. It worked. It worked. Yeah.
He should have pulled a Larry David. Try to never tell him. Get caught later in the middle, thereby making it 10,000 times more awkward.
Yeah, that's right.
And then he hates you, but only for the last third of the movie.
That's right. But he hated it. But then then it was funny, and they became friends.
Yeah, I knew that he was going to win because I saw Superman.
That's right. That's right.
And he definitely did not have a mustache, and nor should she.
That's right. Nor should he have a mustache.
Yes.
That's right.
I'm going to end on these fun comments from Twitch. To hear Kathleen again, I love wearing TYTTs because young guys come up to me and are amazed because I'm old enough to be his grandma, but I get street cred. How is that for fun? I love that you've got street cred from shoptyt.com. And I like that guys are coming up to you and say, "Oh, TYT." They do that to me too. The OG Mountain Dragon says, "I want to hear the young Jenk parking and hitting all the surrounding cars at once." So we're gonna have to save that for another old school. That was a fun story. And Big Ol' A-Hole wrote in, of course, "This is fucking amazing." So thank you for saying that. What a wonderful comment.
It's just because it's been too long. People miss it. By the couple, pretty soon, they'll be tired of it.
No, they won't care at all. They'll be just like the Honey Badger. Wolf Dragon Donna says, "Jenk, you should do an Audible only book of your stories." I'll be recording, the stories. Oh, that's a funny idea. But I am going to do an audio version of the Justice is Coming. You can buy that too. And last one is Kane Monster saying, "I have a little stuffed toy of a honey badger that says, 'Honey Badger don't care,' stuck on the dashboard of my car." So it's been around a while.
So you, for the book comes out in September.
Yeah.
I was at a writers conference. You should come next year. I should see if that can happen. That would be great.
Sounds fun.
And they buy so many copies of people's books.
Okay, now I'm coming.
But no one is going to buy.
Along with Justice.
There's not going to be the way I'm certain people bought Dave Rubin's book, right?
Buy it in bulk.
Yeah, there's no way that's going to happen for you.
No, but I bet we get accused of it.
Oh, you'll definitely get accused, but who's going to buy it? George Soros?
Nobody's going to buy it in bulk for what reason?
For what reason?
Like, we want to do the progressive agenda of higher taxes on us.
There might be a couple of serious, committed Young Turks fans with some disposable income who might buy 10, 15 copies and give them to their friends. I could see that.
I'm not going to say no.
Right, sure.
I'm not going to say no. I don't know if that's going to happen, but there's nobody going to buy it. Like, you remember Sarah Palin did the thing where her PAC bought a giant bulk order of her books, and so that was one, so that she could go up the New York Times bestseller list, and two, because that way she could rob her own PAC.
Yeah, that's right.
Because that money's going to go straight to her, right? We have none of those tricks. You find out later, Rebellion Pack has bought 50,000 copies of Justice Coming. No, 0% chance. All right, guys, we're out of time. Much love. Hopefully, more in studio soon. See you then.
We come to this place for magic.